Good morning, it's Mike Bell here from the Armchair Trading Floor. So I'm going to be showing you guys a video of how we've given out just over 600 pips in the last week and a half, 668 pips to be exact. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you our before and our current analysis and how we've come up to that pip summary. Now, we wanted to start off with the pips that's been shared in the free zone before we shared the pips in the full member zone as well. So if we look into the free zone, we actually gave out some analysis for Aussie dollar. So what we're expecting is that we're expecting a 105 pip drop down to about the 7458 level before seeing a retracement up to try and hit our ultimate upside target of 0.7750. So we're covering it just over 390 pips on this move to the downside and then further up. So if we have a look at where we are with the Aussie dollar, you can actually see here, if I go on the before picture, we're still on the 4-hour time frame, we actually execute a perfect entry to the downside before seeing a perfect retracement up to the upside as well. So here we go, we actually covered this going further down. We also give updates, and so far there's 242 pips secured, and we expect to see another support being created right here before a final push up to 0.7750. So just about 150 pips from where we are currently today. If I go on the free zone, you can actually see that we show you an example of how we update you with our analysis. So we obviously mentioned that we went down almost to the first target. First target was hit, and there's a new and that we noticed a huge spike up once our ultimate first target was met, which obviously sent us up to the upside and executed our second entry for our D targets D1 and D2. We actually shared a video with you guys as well, just to give you an example of how we analyze and what we expected next. And we actually said that once our D target was hit, we expect a pullback to around the 0.7550 level. So you can see here that we actually drawn on the arrows of how we expected this to move. Now, if we take another look at the live chart right now, I know the market's closed because it's a Sunday. If we take a look at the live chart, once our D1 target was met, 0.7660, we actually got a retracement. So you can see here we retested 0.660 and actually pulled back. So what I expect moving into next week is we're going to be seeing some further downside and maybe a pullback to around 0.7533 or around this region, and then some further upside to our 0.7750 target. So currently floating 242 pips on the Aussie US dollar. There's still a further about 180 pips left on this particular trade to give us around about a 400 pip upside target. Now, if I go back to our free zone, the next pair that we actually shared with you guys, going on the trend of trading the Aussie, was we actually had a look at Aussie Japanese yen. Now, this was quite a simple trade because we forecasted that we were going to see some Japanese strength going into last week. If we have a look at our first bit of analysis right here in the free zone on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we actually explain the reasons why. So we said that there's a triple top formation, so the sell momentum is definitely in play. A sell is valid, and we highlighted a level of previous support and now turned resistance. So it's quite clear that anything in this zone is going to act as some solid resistance right now. So sell is just valid anywhere above or within this resistance zone. So this pink line actually pushed up about a 90 to 100 pip, 150 pip region. We didn't execute this, but we shared the analysis, but we executed on the downside right now. So what we're expecting for Aussie Japanese yen is we've drawn on this trend line right here, this trend line right there. If we get a break of that trend line, we can take second entries all the way down to 0.7 77.000, and that's what we're looking at for Aussie Japanese yen. If I go further into this, you can actually see that immediately after the market opens, the price shot straight up, which is a great sign that this move is definitely going to be valid, and then we're going to see some manipulation around the sun. And now to the live chart. And then surprise, surprise, if I just zoom in on this live chart right now, you can see here, that was that move where we shot straight up, and then we got into this resistance zone and pinpoint rejection off that level, and it's actually dropped us around about 200 pips to the downside, which is absolutely fantastic. Great execution, 210 pips secured and floating. So what we're expecting now for Aussie Japanese yen is we need to get into our target region, which is this circle that we've highlighted right there. We will see price move sideways, and then we should expect a further break of that trend line to get us further down. So that's the trades that we've actually shared in the free zone. Going into the full members zone right now, and some of the analysis that's been shared in the full members zone is, if we have a look at USD JPY. So USD JPY, I'll just zoom this further out and find the first chart. So here we go, USD JPY. Again, we explain the reasons why. Huge rejection at 1.11. We had a low that's actually been created here, so we're expecting a lower high, and then we can consider entries right here if 1.0885 is broken. So our first target right there, as soon as we break this, we can consider second entries to create a new lower leg for USD JPY. But again, we give you a nice summary of this. So similar to the chart shared in the free zone, we forecast Japanese strength. USD JPY usually respects the technical levels. We highlighted that since November 2017 we've been on a downtrend, so we expect that new lower leg to be created as well. And let's just have a look at where we are in the chart. So we expected a nice about 100 pip rise going up to our C leg right here, which is where we're going to execute the sell. And if I take a look at the chart, you can see here this pink line was respected, got us up to this 110.23 level, and then we're actually 97 pips in profit right there for that particular trade. So there's still further downside on USD JPY. Should probably see a pullback going into next week. And then a break of this trend line right here, which will send us absolutely tumbling through our first target and then down to our key level, which is 107.45. Back into the full member zone now for the next pair. So we actually had a look at Euro USD. So Euro USD, just find this right now. So looking at Euro USD, so here we go. We shared that we were going to be looking at Euro USD into last week. Now, if I take a look at the Euro USD right here, you can see that we had a harmonic back pattern right there. So that leg was actually completed. We were sat back on our 1.1650 level, which is a key level for the euro. Taking us into the euro chart right there, you can see that we executed another perfect entry, had pretty much no drawdown. Price got sent up to 1.815, another key level that we had highlighted. So it was no surprise that this level was acting as a level of resistance. So that's why we got the rejection. At that point, you can see on the before picture, we've already had that zone highlighted. So that's where our take profit zone would have been. But if you left this analysis just running in the background, you would be floating at 100 pips profit right there. So we're currently another 100 pips going into next week. So for euro, I just simply see us creating this pretty much a similar pattern and a similar leg up like we did here in December 2017. So it's pretty much going to go all the way up to target 1.23550 ultimate target for the euro. The next pair that I wanted to cover is the Euro GBP. So we mentioned that this is choppy, and we were currently sat around 5 pips if you left the analysis open. Now, if we go up to our unlock signals page, right there, Euro GBP, we actually took profit at 80 pips because we noticed this choppy movement and the strength going into the euro as well. But if I look at Euro GBP, you can see here we executed an entry, got pretty much straight down. We took some profit at 80 pips, but if you left this running, we were considering second entries right there, and this analysis hit the stop loss. However, if you were going to be sat in this trade, you'd be sat around 5 or 7 pips in profit right now. But ultimately, if you just left this running on the risk reward, you'd have been minus 46 pips on that pair. The next analysis that we have to share is going to be Aussie New Zealand dollar. So looking at the Aussie New Zealand dollar right there, again, 50 pip risk for 250 pip reward. We correlated with some predicted New Zealand weakness going into last week. So we had pretty much a great start to the week, a nice perfect entry at this 50% fib. However, what's actually happened right now is we've retraced and we should see another retest of this 50% fib. So if I take a look at this current Aussie chart, Aussie New Zealand dollar, you can see here, we went straight up. We were probably about 100 pips, about 150 pips in profit, but then we got some retracement at this 23.6160 fib level, which is usually a strong resistance level for the fib, depending on what way you're trading, what way you're trending. So we're currently sat going into next week at 7 pips. Definitely we are looking at creating a new level of support right here within this region. So anything around here is going to be solid for the buys. Again, this correlates with our Aussie dollar trade. If you look, we've had a leg up, a rejection, so we're going to be creating a support leg before we go further higher. But let's take a look at this Aussie. You can see same move, up, down, create level of support before moving higher as well. And then finally, we've got the Euro New Zealand dollar. So we've been sat in this one for quite some time now. So here we go. So Euro New Zealand dollar, we are creating levels of support, eyeing up buy positions. We were quite happy with the risk, but we were very, very presumptuous on this trade by looking at the fact that we need to create that level of support before seeing a big push higher. So we were definitely valid with the entry to take an entry from over here. If I go on Euro, you can actually see that what we actually have done is created that level of support, pushed down a little bit lower than we wanted to go to in terms of drawdown, but that support leg for the Euro New Zealand dollar is now being created. You can see that we had that final big push up that we predicted right there, where we covered within the space of 1 hour, we covered just over 150 pips. So this is creating that leg for us for new higher highs and high lows, and what we should see is movement which looks similar to this. So that's what we're looking at for Euro New Zealand dollar. Currently sat at plus 58 pips in profit. Got very, very, very close to the stop loss when we were creating a new level of support, but that is where we are. So 666 pips in profit in the last week and a half, shared with our full members zone as well. If you guys have any further questions on joining the full members zone, all you need to do is just simply go to our website, www.armchairtradingfloor.co.uk. You can visit our online store for trading videos and our trading PDFs explainers, or you can actually simply benefit by getting 12 months worth of memberships for only 12 months worth of memberships for only £55, so £550 for the total year. So you're going to be saving about 64% on our normal membership, as our usual membership price is £100 per month, which is £1,200 a year as well. Or you can just simply go to our free zone on here. Follow us on our different social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram. Join the free zone, which is the Echofin app. And if you actually want to join the full membership zone on a monthly basis, you can actually just click subscribe right there, and that will take you to set up your payment details. Echofin, you can simply just log in and benefit from the benefits of our system on there as well. So we've got some calendars on the system. We've got cryptocurrency rankings and information on the system as well. We've got a very great tool as well, which is our Forex, which is our FX heat map. This allows you to understand which pairs are trending the strongest. So if you look here, you can see that the Japanese yen, we're going to be seeing anything versus the Japanese yen is going to be looking pretty weak going into next week. Anything versus the Canadian dollar, again, pretty weak going into next week as well. So yeah, so we've got some very good tools on here. Definitely worth a check out. You get this in the free zone. But any further questions, just feel free to go on our website, click on the contact us page, and just take it from there. So good luck with your trading journey, guys, and hope you have a fantastic week going into next week. Thank you.